Are you ready to uncover the darkest secrets of the world's most notorious prisons? Can you handle the shocking realities that lie within? We're talking about the world's most notorious prisons. Today we'll try to understand the day-to-day reality faced by the people who live in these institutions. So if you're ready, dear viewer, steel yourself. Stay tuned as we dive deep into the lives of those behind bars. Our first stop takes us to South America, Venezuela to be precise, and an institution that might just be hell on earth, La Sabaneta. Imagine a prison built for 15,000 souls, crammed with closer to 30,000 men. Violence here isn't just common, it's a way of life.
I've seen more dead bodies in La Sabaneta than I could count.
The guards, well, they're outnumbered and outgunned. Poverty and desperation on the outside lead to crime, which leads to La Sabaneta, which just spits you back out into the world, more broken than before. Our next stop takes us to Africa, to Rwanda, and within those wounds lies Gitarama Central Prison. The conditions, well, they're Dickensian to put it mildly, overcrowding so severe that men are literally forced to stand all day, every day.
I haven't seen the sun in over 2 years.
He was just skin and bones, ravaged by malnutrition and despair. The food? Well, if you can call it that, it's barely enough to keep a bird alive. Gitarama doesn't just punish the guilty, it crushes the human spirit. From the heart of Africa, we now travel to the frozen wastelands of Siberia, to a place that sends shivers down the spine, Black Dolphin Prison. This is Russia's most secure penitentiary, home to the country's most hardened criminals. Here, it's all about isolation and control. Prisoners spend 23 hours a day locked in their cells.
I still dream of returning to the outside world.
His eyes, though filled with a deep sadness, still held a glimmer of hope. They still feel pain, they still dream, they still cling to the hope of redemption. And that, I think, is what makes this place all the more unsettling. Now, let's hop back to Africa, shall we? This time to Kenya, and a place that's about as far removed from the savannas and safari tours as you can get. Kamiti Maximum Security Prison.
Kamiti is notorious for its brutality, overcrowding on a scale that makes La Sabaneta look like a holiday camp. Disease is rife, sanitation is practically non-existent, and violence, well, it's as common as sunshine in this part of the world. But it's the inmates that broke my heart. Men, women, even children, crammed into tiny cells, their faces etched with a weariness that belied their years. One young lad, barely old enough to shave, told me he'd been in Kamiti for 3 years, accused of stealing a loaf of bread. Kamiti is a microcosm of Kenya's struggles, a place where poverty and desperation collide with a justice system that's often more interested in punishment than rehabilitation.
From the plains of Africa, we now journey to the home of the free, the land of the brave, the United States of America.
Welcome to San Quentin State Prison, California's oldest and most notorious correctional facility. San Quentin is infamous for its history, its long list of high-profile inmates, and of course, its death row. He told me about the endless waiting, the crushing boredom, the knowledge that his life could end at any moment. But what struck me most about James was his lack of anger. He seemed to accept his fate, to find a strange kind of peace in the midst of his circumstances. San Quentin is a place of contradictions, a place where hope and despair coexist in an uneasy truce. It's a place that forces you to confront uncomfortable truths about the American justice system, and indeed, about human nature itself.
We leave the shores of America and venture now to a land where east meets west to Turkey. Our destination, Diyarbakir Prison, a place synonymous with torture, political oppression, and human rights abuses.
Now, Diyarbakir has a long and troubled history, dating back to the Ottoman Empire. Thousands of political prisoners, dissidents, and anyone deemed an enemy of the state were incarcerated here, subjected to unimaginable cruelty. She described how the guards would use sleep deprivation, sensory overload, and even sexual assault to break the spirit of their prisoners. But what struck me most about Ice was her resilience. Despite the horrors she'd endured, she refused to let hate consume her. Diyarbakir is a stark reminder that freedom is a precious and fragile thing, something to be cherished and protected.
From the political prisons of Turkey, we shift gears and head south to the land of tango and football, Argentina, a country known for its passionate people and vibrant culture. But beneath the vibrant culture and passionate spirit lies a darker reality, one that is often overlooked by the outside world. This reality is embodied by our next stop, Mendoza Prison, a place that tells a story of struggle and survival. Mendoza's infamy stems from a much more mundane yet equally devastating problem: overcrowding, a problem that plagues many prisons around the world. The overcrowding here is not just a minor inconvenience, but a severe issue that affects the daily lives of the inmates. This place is bursting at the seams, crammed with 3, sometimes 4 times the number of inmates it was designed to hold. The conditions are dire. The overcrowding leads to a myriad of problems, from lack of space to insufficient resources.
He told me about the lack of medical care, the absence of basic necessities that we often take for granted. The fights that broke out over a scrap of food, a testament to the desperation that permeates the air. The crushing weight of being surrounded by so many desperate souls. It's a heavy burden to bear. But what struck me most about Miguel was his sense of humor. He still cracked jokes, still found ways to laugh, even in the midst of such bleak circumstances. His resilience was inspiring, even in the midst of such bleak circumstances. It was a reminder of the human spirit's ability to endure. Mendoza may not be the most infamous prison on our list, but it's a sobering reminder of the human cost of overcrowding, a cost that is often hidden from view.
Back we go to the US of A, my friends, but this time we're heading to the mountains of Colorado. Our destination, ADX Florence, the infamous Alcatraz of the Rockies. This, my friends, is the big leagues of incarceration, a Supermax prison designed to hold the worst of the worst. The inmates, they're kept in solitary confinement, locked away for 23 hours a day in concrete cells with little to no human contact.
Thomas told me about the crushing isolation, the sensory deprivation, the way that time seemed to both crawl and stand still in this place. ADX Florence is a place of extremes, a testament to our society's need to punish, to isolate, to break the spirit of those we deem irredeemable. It's a place that raises uncomfortable questions about the limits of human endurance and the very nature of punishment itself.
Right, back to Russia we go. But this time it's even more remote, even more chilling than Black Dolphin. We're venturing into the heart of Russia's frozen wilderness, where the cold bites harder and the isolation is absolute. We're heading to Patak Island, a place so isolated, so unforgiving, that it makes Siberia look like a tropical getaway. This island is a stark, frozen wasteland where survival itself is a daily battle. This, my friends, is White Swan, a prison colony so feared. It's known as the Alcatraz of Russia. Its reputation for brutality and harsh conditions is legendary, even among the toughest criminals. Patak Island is surrounded by the freezing waters of Lake Beloy, a natural barrier that makes escape virtually impossible. The icy expanse of the lake is as much a prison as the walls themselves.
Victor told me about the psychological torture, the beatings, and the relentless mental strain that inmates endure daily. The way that the guards would pit inmates against each other just for their own amusement was a common practice. It was a twisted game of survival of the fittest, but the most disturbing thing Victor told me was about the punishment cells. These were not just cells, they were instruments of pure psychological torment. These were tiny, windowless rooms where prisoners were kept in complete darkness and isolation for weeks, sometimes months on end. The sensory deprivation was designed to break even the strongest minds. Patak Island is a place of nightmares, a chilling reminder that even in the 21st century, there are still places where human rights are nothing more than an afterthought. It's a stark testament to the extremes of human cruelty and endurance.
For our final stop, we journey to the land of smiles, Thailand. Known for its vibrant culture, stunning landscapes and warm hospitality, but don't let the idyllic beaches and friendly locals fool you, because our destination is a world away from the tourist trail. We're heading to a place that starkly contrasts the beauty and serenity Thailand is known for. This is Bangkwang Central Prison, a place where the reality of incarceration is harsh, unforgiving, and often tragically short. The conditions here are a far cry from the paradise outside its walls.
Somchai told me about the constant fear of violence, the lack of medical care, and the overcrowded cells that make daily life a struggle for survival. The way that hope seemed to wither and die within the walls of Bangkwang. The despair is palpable, and the sense of hopelessness is overwhelming. Somchai had been in Bangkwang for 10 years, and in that time, he'd seen countless men come and go, each with their own tragic story, many of them leaving in body bags. The mortality rate here is a grim reminder of the harsh conditions. Bangkwang is a stark reminder that the war on drugs has a human cost, that behind the statistics and the headlines, there are real people, living and dying in unimaginable conditions. Each number represents a life, a story cut short. It's a place that challenges our perceptions of justice, punishment, and the very meaning of redemption. The stories from within these walls force us to question the true cost of our justice system and the very meaning of redemption. In the midst of suffering, some still seek a glimmer of hope, a chance for a better future.
Well, there you have it. A glimpse into some of the most challenging and often brutal conditions on our planet. Thank you for joining us on this eye-opening journey. These stories are a stark reminder of the importance of human rights, of dignity, of compassion. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most intriguing and often most challenging places. And if this journey has inspired you, consider supporting organizations working to improve conditions in prisons around the world.